Live from Arkansas' streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on THV 11 Plus. I'm Hayden Balgavy.
And I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm meteorologist Tracy Bean. Ashley has the day off. So we are talking about a little bit of a slowdown with traffic this morning. It's not too bad. People are still moving along, so that is good news. But you know, while Ashley's out, I'm manning traffic, and we're going to have to keep an eye on it. And she does the expanded traffic coverage, and I'm doing my best.
Oh, you do just fine, Tracy. It looks like there's some construction causing you some problems.
It's always by the base. Yeah, there's a lot of folks coming and going there. That's for sure. We are looking again a bit of a slowdown there in Jacksonville. So taking a look at your traffic this morning, make sure if you are in that area or coming through that area, things are starting, look at that, things are already starting to get a little bit better. That car there is off to the side on the shoulder, I think was involved in part of this slowdown, but again, it's starting to move forward, and that is good news. Let's check the map here real quick and see what we've got. Mainly green, and yeah, up there in Jacksonville, that was red when we just started the show this morning, so already starting to see a little bit of relief there as you are heading from Saline County, seeing just the normal slowdown there. So overall, things aren't too bad, and the drive times overall are looking pretty good too. Maybe just a little bit slower coming from that Jacksonville area as that traffic starts to thin out just a little bit. And let's go ahead and look at our weather. We're going to start things off this morning with looking at our satellite and radar. A few clouds out there, but we're starting to see a few of those showers develop as it's moving into western Arkansas. So again, if you're in the Hot Springs area, you could start to see some of that impacting your commute this morning. Some of these could be heavy at times as we're looking at our radar here. Again, a lot of that activity pushing in just from western Arkansas. We're going to start to see those rain chances today as we're heading into the afternoon develop a little bit more scattered in nature, so make sure you are well weather aware with any watches or warnings as we are looking into the afternoon. This is our 24-hour rainfall. We're not looking at any flash flood warnings. That is in Oklahoma, but I want you to zoom in here and we'll take a look here in Garland and Saline County. When we talk about those isolated storms that can produce a lot of rain, this is what we are talking about. Just in that small little area, they received just under 4 inches of rain in that short amount of time. Now all around them, they received maybe an inch, inch and a half or so. But this area received a lot of rain. So, you know, in those kind of situations, we're going to have to make sure that today with any of those rainfall that comes, especially in that area, if it's heavy, just make sure for localized flooding, we're keeping an eye on that. As far as the fog goes, we are down to just a little over a mile there in Russellville, Hot Springs at 6. So overall, not too bad, but we are seeing some of that patchy fog this morning in just a few areas. But Central Arkansas is looking good this morning. We're at 72 in the capital city. We're looking at 97% humidity, and maybe just a little bit of a breeze there out of the southwest around 7. Anything helps at this point, I think, and so the air just doesn't stay still. Our daily planner for that hour-by-hour forecast is continuing to see a mix of sun and clouds today, and although I'm not showing any rain showers here, it wouldn't surprise me to see some develop, maybe even just a little bit here in Central Arkansas, but as of right now, looking like most of that will be off to the west and to the north. But again, keep that umbrella handy just in case, and we'll have a deeper look at this forecast and let you know how warm it's going to get as we're heading into midweek into the weekend coming up.
Continuing coverage this morning in Central Texas. Rescue teams forced to pause their search with heavy rain and strong winds continuing to hammer the region.
The area is still recovering from the deadly flooding just over a week ago. And now a slow-moving storm is sparking new flash flood warnings, including along the Guadalupe River.
Officials say dozens of people are still unaccounted for. Bradley Blackburn has more.
Little more than a week after deadly floods hit Central Texas, a slow-moving storm dumped even more rain there over the weekend. It pushed rivers past their limits. Residents rushed out of the way.
Just kind of like, uh-oh, here it comes again.
And search crews were forced to stand down.
We'll probably end up not being able to do anything today and just try to get back at it in the morning.
More than 12,000 volunteers have now arrived to help with reconstruction and recovery. While at least 132 fatalities have been confirmed, more than 160 people are still missing. All across the state, green ribbons tied to trees honor the victims. And in Kerrville, flower shops are promising free arrangements for funerals.
Every single person in this community is helping out in the flood relief in some way.
On Face the Nation Sunday, Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell called for close scrutiny of federal weather forecasting.
We as a nation shouldn't be second to Europe or anybody in being a weather-ready nation. We should be the smartest government in the world, using technology, analyzing the data, and putting a forecast system into place.
And in Texas, they are mourning and healing. In Houston, hundreds stood along a procession for 12-year-old Shiloh Wilson, who was swept away from a campground with his parents.
It just breaks my heart that you just don't have a chance to say goodbye.
So many goodbyes as a long recovery begins. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
With the aftermath of those floods still taking a toll, a new team out of Northwest Arkansas is now on the ground to help. Rogers-based Sheepdog Impact Assistance is in the area with nearly 200 volunteers, 4 vehicles, and 3 trailers loaded with supplies from food and water, canned goods, and dog food as well. Not to mention outdoor gear for those in need, but their support goes far beyond just delivering aid.
When something like this happens, it's the heart, it's the mission, the drive that we want to go and help. I mean, if we're bringing anything, it's hope to everybody that's been affected.
The group says helping others in crisis is central to their mission and that their team is always ready to respond.
Also happening, Governor Sanders is extending the Arkansas National Guard's mission in Central Texas over the weekend. Since July 8th, 22 soldiers and 4 Black Hawk helicopters have been moving search and rescue crews, and they'll keep supporting efforts through next Sunday now. Developing this morning, President Trump is expressing growing frustration over Russia's war on Ukraine.
The permanent ceasefire he promised to achieve on his first day in office remains elusive. Last week marked Russia's largest drone assault in Ukraine since the start of its full-scale invasion.
Today, the president appears poised to take action. New this hour, Amy Kiley reports on new consequences that could be in store from Moscow.
I am very disappointed with President Putin.
President Donald Trump says he might make a major announcement about Russia today. He's hosting the NATO Secretary General. Analysts say Trump might be warming to that alliance as he cools toward Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I thought he was somebody that meant what he said, and he'll talk so beautifully and then he'll bomb people at night. We don't like that.
Trump says he's reached a deal to send weapons to Ukraine. He says NATO will pay for them and handle distribution.
Once the Ukrainians have the ability to bring the fighting to Russia in real and sustained ways, Putin will have questions to answer to his own people.
Meanwhile, a bipartisan group of lawmakers is pushing a related bill. It lets Trump levy a 500% tariff on imports from countries that buy Russian uranium, gas, or oil.
A turning point regarding Russia invasion of Ukraine is coming.
Trump's latest rhetoric comes about 5 months after the Ukrainian president visited Washington. That's what a White House official says Trump told him to leave early after a tense Oval Office exchange.
You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards, but without us, you don't have any cards.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A new tax rule in President Trump's big, beautiful bill is getting attention from gamblers and casinos across the country. Starting in 2026, players can only deduct 90% of their losses up to the amount that they win, which is down from 100%. However, Bet Saracen, one of the largest online sports books in the U.S., says it will only impact a small group of users.
And that represents a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of our bets. So the bottom line is, this is not ruinous on the industry. It's probably going to affect a handful of bettors in Arkansas. But despite it all, we care about that handful of bettors.
Saracen is supporting legislation that would reverse the change. The new tax rule goes into effect January 1st. And THV 11 Plus launching a new show called Let's Bet. In the first episode, Nick Luttrell sits down with Bet Saracen's Neil Atkinson to break down sports betting terms. You can catch the full episode right now on our free streaming app, THV 11 Plus, with new episodes every Thursday night at 5:30.
It is 10 minutes after 7, so 7:10. Lawmakers in D.C. are discussing the Genius Act this week. The bill establishes a set of rules on the $250 billion market for stable coins. That's a type of cryptocurrency linked to assets like the U.S. dollar. Congressman French Hill of Arkansas spoke about it on Face the Nation, stressing the need to protect investors and consumers.
What we've had is a mismatch of rules by enforcement in the Biden administration, and I believe the bills we'll have on the House floor this week will protect investors, consumers, and make America, as President Trump wants, a leader in financial technology and crypto and digital assets innovation.
That bill cleared the Senate last month by a vote of 68 to 30 and now heads to the House for debate this week. It is now 7:11. Time for traffic on the ones. Tracy watching the roads this morning. Ashley is out today. Tracy.
Yeah, we are still watching this accident, if you will. It's a car on the side of the road. It's on the shoulder. This is right past the Vandenberg gate there in Jacksonville, slowing things down on occasion. And I imagine maybe a wrecker will come here before long, and that might slow things down even just a little bit more. It was pretty congested a few minutes ago, and then it thinned out. But again, it is marking it as an accident, southbound on the right shoulder, right past the Vandenberg gate there in Jacksonville. Around the region, if we take a look here, most of that is green, but you do notice that accident there just north of that Jacksonville there, and that's what we're talking about, that car that is just on the right shoulder. Everywhere else, we're just seeing our normal commute times this morning. And taking a look from Conway, 22 minutes, in Cabot, it's slowing down just a little bit because of that congestion in Jacksonville, 27 minutes, and in Benton from the Alcoa exit, around 19 minutes. So stay safe. That is the only accident that I am seeing on the map right now, but of course, keep an eye on things as you're heading in this morning. And taking a look at your weather, we are seeing a few clouds out there and starting to see a few of those rain showers develop, especially as we're looking off to the west and to the north. And here in central Arkansas, not a lot. You may get a little sprinkle here and there, but we are continuing to see some of that development. We are looking at a bit of restricted visibility in Russellville, around 3 miles. A lot of that is going to be where we're starting to see a lot of those rain showers push in, but no mention here in central Arkansas. It is still looking pretty good. Currently, it is 72 across the metro. We've got 73 in Clinton, 72 in Camden. A lot of 70s this morning. We're going to continue to see those upper 80s, lower 90s, which is right around average for this time of year. It's seasonal. So those partly cloudy skies and a few scattered storms are possible. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that this afternoon. Some of that could be heavy at times, but we'll go into that a little bit more in my forecast coming up in just a few minutes.